I think you must look at the composure of a government to determine government intent. The NDC government, I mean proudly so, for 1 year, 3 months, does not have any scandal or any wrongdoing impugned on any appointee howsoever. And that is a mark of leadership. In this discussion, I've heard Kofi Tonto rant. I mean, he makes me sometimes, I mean, he reminds me of when I was in opposition. I've heard him rant in the most emotional way without supporting it with fact.
No,
and
you say they're clutching at straws for scandals.
You know, and where he sought to support it with fact, I mean, he completely missed the point. I think we've done the work Kofi Tonto is doing before. It can be done with mathematical precision. And I encourage him to take his time. See, he makes an assertion that the cost of feeder road in their time was $500,000. And he sought to say he has the document. Kofi Tonto, sometimes you need to drink water and take your time.
So he has a contract.
His Minister of Roads, Asante Bediatuo, and that is the reason why he didn't speak, that's a low reference, awarded a road contract in his constituency, Bantama. I have the document here.
You have a document?
Yes, I have the document here with me.
Let's go slow on the name of the contract.
And for the 10.5 kilometer of roads he awarded, the total cost of the road was 164,000. Divide that and tell me whether that's
164 million.
164 million. Divide that.
Bantama.
Yes, divide that and tell me if it's 500,000. Your original chairman, Chairman Wontumi, who is seeking to be your national chairman, and one of Bawumia's advisors, was awarded Cocoa Road, or he's not an advisor to Bawumia.
Please
now,
make
they
your
can't
point.
claim Chairman Wontumi. Bawumia's advisor was
of our region. So,
and one of Bawumia's close advisors and confidants was awarded Cocoa Road for $45 million for a 20-kilometer. He should do the math.
Cocoa Road?
Yes. For $45 million and it was 20 kilometers. He should do the math and tell me if that is. I mean, we have been doing this work. It is too simplistic if you take the approach. It ought to be backed by research. If you want to take a government on, merely combining words and using flowery language would not put pressure on government. You need to come with facts. And then when you say what? The NDC is a very hypocritical party, and his basis is that first, we said that the Russia-Ukraine did not have an effect in the world, and that now we are saying that the Israel-Iran war has an effect. Maybe you have forgotten. From 1957 to 2016, nobody did politics with external shocks and external factors. So check your history. I know there are historians in this party. Political parties will come on TV and debate. Nobody reference external source. It was your Bawumia who said because of his PhD in economics, he had discovered a new economic theory that external factors did not have effects on local and reference Cote d'Ivoire. Have you forgotten his famous video? In his famous lectures, he introduced that discourse. What we were doing was subjecting you to our own test and asking what changed. So don't come and call us hypocrites. The NDC is focused. I mean, he has used a number of words, scammers and all that. We in the NDC, you know what we think? We think that when we have access to people's power, we should not censor how they describe us, even if it's unfounded. So I will not attack him, or I will not say that. I mean, he can use every word. But as we sit here, there is no government appointee that you, by any stretch of inference, can say that this person has engaged in acts of corruption. I can sit here and point to you that your finance minister cannot even sit in his own country and enjoy fufu.
Which finance minister?
Ken Ofori Atta.
Okay, the former finance minister.
The former finance minister cannot even sit in his own country and enjoy fufu. Why? He should be telling us why. That the man who left his wife and wore all his wife's kaftans in Ghana, all of a sudden does not think that it is appropriate to wear white kaftans. I think that the role of the opposition, and rightly so, is to question government. But that will have to be done within the fact. What assurance I can give to the people of Ghana is that the NDC takes a different approach to governance, that we welcome dissenting opinion, that we hear people when we talk and we say that this is a feedback to us in government, that we will not sitting on the throne of power be so submerged in power that we have forgotten that people have plight. It is in the spirit of that the NDC says that in 24 months, communities must have access to roads. It is in the spirit of that the NDC says that it is important to stabilize the macroeconomic indicators for all citizens to benefit. And so when civil society raise issues, when other people question government intention, we will have the time to explain. But let not those who in the past told us that there was absolutely nothing wrong when we were even questioning, when we said that, hey, you guys should pause and perhaps even give us an explanation. We used to come to this studio. Government communicators will not even allow you to make your point. Today, Kofi Tonto is sitting here quiet and allowing me to speak. Government communicators will not even allow. You dare not even question government communicators.
I don't understand.
They were swallowed in arrogance and pride. They will hear nothing but for themselves. Their notes were prolonged to the extent that they could not see the plight of people. When we complain about food, they will go and import food and bring it to the Ministry of Agri that we should come and buy. When you complain about National Cathedral, they will tell you the president wants to serve God. When you complain about contracts being given to presidents, families, and cronies, they will tell you that's why are they not qualified. The NDC takes a different approach. While in government, we do not seek perfection. We will make mistakes as long as it's a human institution. This is not even a mistake. And let me conclude by saying that if their target is the roads minister, maybe they haven't had time to do reorganization as a party. You know, they were using the bottom-up approach. So they haven't had time to do reorganization and go to the base and the communities. The roads minister, as we speak, is one of the ministers with the highest ranking. Why? Everywhere there is road construction. Where I used to stay, Community 25.
Community 25?
Community 25.
You evaded the traffic since you came to government?
The traffic is still there. But I'm saying that you can see that work is progressing. You just came to do touches and left the road. The government of Ghana is working. The government of Ghana is committed to listening to the citizens. But let's not people throw dust in your eyes. Where the government is, we will admit. Roland, let me conclude. You know it's been long since I came.
This is your third time.
You cannot conclude because of your.
This is your third time saying you have to conclude. Please.
Solo will give me 2 minutes. No, so the government of Ghana.
We have a medical.
So I'm saying that as an opposition, they ought to be responsible. This morning, my expectation of an opposition party, as we did in the past, was that when you were coming to the studio, you will bring us that this contract is related to this person and that this contract would have costed this and it's costing this. Then we can be having a discussion. If the basis is that because the NDC in the past criticized, then I think the government hasn't done so bad. If the only basis of the MPP is that, no, we do not allege corruption. We do not say that you have done something wrong. We do not say that you have breached any law. In fact, we are not imputing any motive. Our only basis is that because you said this in the past, then you shouldn't be doing that. Then I think that Ghanaians, you are in safe hands.
You have actually impugned corruption. And I gave you an example, which he sought to clarify. She sought to clarify because now she's a mathematician and a precision master. But when she was trying to compare my analysis to what Asenso Boakye supposedly did, she made a grave error.
You mean the contract in Bantam?
Yes. Because you see, Ghana, we have different types of roads. We have inner city roads.
That's an urban road.
Yes, we have city roads. We have, feeder roads. we have highways, and we have trunk roads. My analysis was based on feeder roads. You don't compare urban roads to feeder roads. So that is the first error you made. You don't compare urban roads to feeder roads, because by its name alone and its position or location alone, even the quality of build is different.
So that's what I was averting your mind to.
No.
That
Pay attention to the point.
That each road and the specific bill of quantity and the scope.
Pay attention to the point I made. My initial submission was emphasized on feeder roads. I was not talking about all roads.
So how much was urban roads?
Please.
So feeder roads, they have culverts, they have bridges,
I
and
understand
all those
all
things.
of that. Yeah. I understand all of that. And that is why I referenced you. That you cannot tell me that during our times we didn't do culverts. We didn't have topography issues or geological issues.
Very well.
Nobody can sit here and tell me that only during Muhammad's time that the scope of work mattered. The scope of work has always mattered at every material time. And all the roads we did, the feeder roads we did, came with scope. Some even included building extra facilities outside. Some even include ancillary works. So I am conversant with roads, the scope and the nature of the roads. I used feeder roads. So you don't compare urban, because let me give you a typical example. Feeder roads, they're built by nature, by its nature and location alone. The quality is different from urban roads. Urban roads will be asphalt surfacing. Feeder roads will be bitumen surfacing. Something like we call
our new road experts. So what is wrong with these current roads?
Please.
That you must
I have not said anything.
You must answer.
Please pay attention. I have not said there is anything wrong with the road.
Thank you.
I am telling you that we are not talking about the quality of the road.
Well, feeder roads until recently they didn't put in the asphalting. It's only recently they started doing the overlays.
So the point that I'm making to you is that we have feeder roads, and by name of feeder roads, there is a description of the type of work that goes in. So don't compare city roads to feeder roads. That's the point I'm making to you. It's a wrong comparison.
But Cocoa roads mostly are feeder roads.
But I'm saying she cited Bantama. She cited Bantama. Bantama is different. And I'm saying that don't do that comparison.
Do you have the scope of the current road that you say that there is something wrong? Because if you are a road expert, I want to learn. I'm not a road expert. The last time I checked, I'm a lawyer by profession. He is a road expert.
I'm not a road expert. I'm not a road expert. You sat here and discussed all issues. Are you expert on all of those issues? Are you a procurement expert? When you were saying, bitches, when you were saying NPP was running a procurement economy, were you a procurement expert?
That's what you were doing.
Were you a procurement expert? No, you said that in your first year, you are going to amend the Procurement Act to do away with sole sourcing, end it, cut it. Please. That is what Ablakwa said.
Please, I beg you.
Please, I have the video.
I
have the video.
Limit.
I've never, please.
Oh, please, allow Kofi to make his point. Sorry, I can wrap up. Please wrap up for me.
I quoted several people. You keep distorting me. I said President Mahama said rare exception. And then I said Ablakwa said cut it. So don't confuse or don't lump all of them together as one thing. I quoted several people. And I said Sammy Gyamfi, your boss, said we are stealing money. And Oferipenyin fear people are stealing money. I was categorical. Don't lump it. So the point is, you promised. Ablakwa said in your manifesto, you are going to put it in. Now, Solo, let me come to you. You, Solo, you belong to a political party. Which political party went to the Ghanaians to seek for power and got 33,000 votes? Okay?
You are mocking the votes again.
I'm not mocking in it. I'm just telling him the fact.
What has the 33,000 they got to do with the analysis we're doing?
I'm just saying. The point I am making is that when you went to Ghanaians, you went on the back that the government was not the best, the alternative, which was NDC, was not the best, and that you are the best to lead the country. Okay? Then NDC wins power, comes into power, and the very ills that you criticized MPP for, NDC is doing same and worse.
Why you were monitoring him?
Why? I've known Solo for a long time. The very ills you criticize MPP for, NDC is doing same and worse. Instead of condemning it, you are sitting here with your kaftan, telling us that NDC. Oh, please, you guys had this.
It's a political suit. This is a political suit.
Okay.
Please
You are sitting here telling me that we shouldn't talk.
So now you are attacking.
No, I'm not attacking.
You want to?
I'm not.
This is an emotional attack.
No. So there's everything. Oh,
that's your conclusion.
But the point, let me wrap up.
No, you wrap up. Kofi Tonto, I've given you enough time.
I'm wrapping up. Let me wrap. So the point I am making is this: you cannot continue to do politics and campaigning. Campaign is over. You cannot continue to defend the NDC and cite examples on their behalf. The point I am making to you is that they promised a reset. They said everything we did was bad. So I don't need to reiterate the so-called bad things we did.
Okay.
So don't cite all of those things as your basis to argue.
Well, you see, it's rather unfortunate.
This one, you didn't tell me thank you.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
The truth of the matter is that there is a young singer. I like his song. He said, "Thy favor or so." One of his beautiful renditions, the plants in Ashiegu.
Plants.
When you are done, play that.
Plants na Ashiegu.
Jandam na Ashiegu. Sidini na Ashiegu.
It's on TikTok, yeah.
It's a lovely piece. My brother Kofi Tonto.
What's your point with
the point I'm saying is that you decided to go and do Jandam. I'm an opposition party. I'll be the last person to defend
just hold on.
NDC.
N.Addo just should tell you that you're not serious. How can you describe this as kaftan? Why?
When I'm wearing a political suit.
He just said, N.Addo just said I should tell you.
I don't blame him. He just came out of power. He has all the money. Poor Mr. Owusu. I will wear my kaftan.
He's taking a dig.
No side. But you decided to describe my kaftan. So I wear it. But don't worry. Like what I'm saying is that this attempt, I have seen what the NPP wants to do through their communicators. When they go on various platforms, they try very hard to try to link me to the NDC. But you see,
you think they're doing Jandam?
Yes, but the Ghanaian that is listening, they know my history. I'm not a perfect human being, but one thing for sure is that when something goes with my conscience, I will say it as it is. And on this occasion, the Minister for Roads and Highways has not done anything wrong. You understand? He is just somebody who is being pursued by a group of people who feels that he is working so hard to uplift the image of this country. Either than that, look.
Pursuing others.
Oh,
Kofi Tonto,
please don't disrupt his flow. We want to do a next conversation.
Kofi Tonto, probably he has to be given a lot of historical facts to come to terms with what his party did to us. In 2016, you know the Flower Pot Road, the overhead. That contract was awarded in 2016.
Yes.
At a cost of 69.5 million.
As part of the airport.
Yes. Get the figure. 69.5 million.
Million what?
Ghana cedis.
Okay. 69.
This was in 2016. By 2017, somewhere September or August, then the MPP administration led by Akufo Addo and his board, Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia, had reviewed the contract to 147 million cedis.
Same contract?
Same contract. There has not been any adjustment. There has not been any variation in design. 147 million.
Roland,
now,
tell him that he's lying.
Now, you see, that time the project was not completed. And guess what?
Do I get a chance to respond to this?
Commission that project.
I'll respond to this.
I mean, at the time of commissioning, the country had expended close to 1 billion Ghana cedis on a project that was supposed to cost 69.5 million. And you got the nerve, you have the mouth to come and sit here.
It's because the contract was stopped. So once it's
No. Even if you were going to take into consideration exchange rate variation, it couldn't have got into the 1 billion.
By 2017.
By the time they completed it, it was about 1 billion. And this is the party that Kofi Tonto wants me to be singing along with them. I'm not going to do opposition bidding because I have to oppose for opposing sake. Then what sort of country are we building? We are in Ghana's politics to shape the political narrative. If it is white, it is white.
UP. If
it is black, that is what UP have been doing. If it is black, it's black. But this business of blatantly lying, you are not even ashamed that you and I come from the Asante region. That Swami interchange, One of the areas that you receive your massive votes
Swami interchange
is Swami. Now the president and Akufo Addo lied together with Dr. Bawumia, lied to them that we are going to construct Swami interchange, and you awarded this contract without even dedicated funding. You have a minister who has come. He is not from the Asante region, by the way. Oh, where was the dedicated funding?
There's a GOG fund.
No,
where was it?
Interchange? No.
Which dedicated funding do you have?
Finish.
No, we haven't changed you interchange.
I think otchere Mensa Bonso.
Yeah, if they had a dedicated one, then where is the project? That even makes your position so damning.
I think
what are you talking about?
Do I get a chance?
You won't get it. You can get it because
you're talking about dedicated
so
funding.
he is coming from Asante region. He didn't even see the need while Swami interchange had to be constructed. Look, when the people of Kwabri East and my father's side pastors come from the Kwabri East were complaining about the terrible road conditions in the Ashanti region, it took his president, Nana Akufo Addo, to go and sit on Otech radio and insult the intelligence of the people of Kwabri East.
I don't understand.
When the people were crying that, Mr. President, our roads are terrible, we give you the highest votes in the Ashanti region, the president told them that, look, if you think that I'm not giving you roads and you will vote for the NDC, go and vote for them. This was the President Akufo Addo. We endured all these things, and you as an Ashanti that must be angry at the levels your party decided to take the people of Ashanti region to. You are here rather complaining that I am doing and that. Why we complain again? His running mate wanted to be the vice president.
The presidential candidate.
The presidential candidate, running mate, that's Matthew Opoku from NAPO.
Okay.
He told the people of Ashanti region, where I come from, that in the Ashanti region, we don't like anything, only T-shirts. How low, how insulting can anybody be? Oh, so you didn't hear him? You haven't heard him? What are you talking about? So you see, when somebody is doing what is right, you encourage the person. I, on this table, said that the 44%, though it's a complete departure from what we were witnessing under the NPP, is still on the higher side and must come down. I made this point here, but because of your diabolical mind, you will not even have time to listen to what I'm saying. Diabolical mind. But if your intention is that I'm going to join...
But you know the story will run for some time, up to the weekend, I'm sure.
Absolutely. But and again, when we were advising him, that he cannot blanketly conclude that 9 kilometers of road will cost what do you call it, $1 million. He was here running his mouth. When Beatrice decided to give him a small dose of data, that in Bantima was the no, now he started giving us lectures on engineering. What are you doing this morning? Anytime you speak,
he peddled
Yes, no, I don't think they said investigative. And you see, for me, I want to commend the Fourth Estate because I like people who are consistent. There was a time in this country when journalists couldn't speak up. A lot of people were afraid for their lives. People practically could not talk about scandals. And the Fourth Estate then emerged. And to their credit, you had the NSS scandal, but for them, we wouldn't know that CEOs were buying $170,000 watches. And so we credit them. The SML deal was uncovered by the Fourth Estate. And so we credit them with these things. But it's important to say that in the story as published by the Fourth Estate, they are not alleging corruption on the part of government. That point is very instructive to make. I've read, and I have here with me the release by the Fourth Estate. Nowhere in the 11-page story are they alleging corruption or any wrongdoing on the part of government. In fact, to the credit of the MPP, they are also not alleging corruption. Or, as at yesterday, I don't know whether this morning Kofi Tonto will make those allegations, but as at yesterday, listening to the minority and members of the MPP, nobody has alleged that government has done anything wrong. What the MPP and many people are saying is that the NDC spoke against sole sourcing. And so why have you come to use that method in your procurement? I think that is the point. And I want to start this discussion on that premise so that we are all on the same page and we don't muddy the waters as if some corruption or some scandal has been discovered. That is not the case. Now, the NDC did not just say that single sourcing as a form of procurement was bad. If it was bad in the past, it is bad now. We cannot all of a sudden change our position. We are a political party with principles. We are led by a president who has consistently demonstrated that he has the ability to stomach dissenting opinion. What was the NDC's position when we were in power? And I've seen yesterday on
there are videos of
in fact,
the current president in opposition.
My own video
as well as
has come out,
snipers
Sammy
of
Gyamfi.
the NDC manifesto.
Yes, yes. So what was the NDC's position? The NDC's position is that single source contracts linked to persons who are close to power are contracts which raises the basis to ask questions and say that this contract may be fraught with corruption. That position has not changed. The NDC's position is that single source contracts, which are inflated above the market's value, are things that we need to question. And I have here with me a press conference addressed by Sammy Gyamfi on August 2024 on the issue of single source contracts. In paragraph 18 of the said press conference, this is the NDC's position. Indeed, paragraph 65 of the performance audit report by the Auditor General on the construction of cocoa roads revealed that Cocoa Board did not rigorously analyze its procurement options for value for money, but sought approval from PPA for single sourcing and restricted tendering, thus procuring the contracts which were 3 times more expensive than it could have been obtained through competitive tendering. This was the position of the NDC.
That's the position?
Yes.
You listen and watch this, the inserts that I imagine now.
So we are saying that.
It says the NDC is against
when you
sole source contracts.
When you resort to single source as your major means of procurement, there is no evidence for value for money. So that was one position we made, and we should not, we will not be seen to be changing it. In the fourth estate, what they call exposé, which is not an exposé really, they never alleged that the market value of these contracts were above the contract sum awarded. In fact, the MPP has not made that argument as well. So the NDC's position has not changed. Now, it is true that the NDC, while in power, called out the MPP for single source contracts. What were some of the things we called them out on? It was the ambulance spare part contract, which was awarded to persons close to the president's daughter then. And we said at the time when the company had not even been formed. So we said that this raises issues of corruption. The Sunyani Rehabilitation Phase 1, awarded to a company called Resource Access Limited, close or associated with the brother of the vice president. That position cannot change merely because we are in power. Again, the cocoa roads, which I have told you that the Auditor General, then appointed by N.Addo himself, said that Cocoa Board did not do a rigorous examination. We are not talking about the same things. If you are saying, and I mean, this is a conversation that we can be having within the bigger context and say that we think that you should have used it. But let me show you why the government sought to use single source contracts for these things. One, the big push is a special project, not like what the MPP will question construction of year of roads. The big push is not a government that merely wants to construct roads. The big push is a policy decision of this government to expand this country into what we call 12 economic zones.
12 economic zones?
12 economic zones. So they are not merely roads being constructed in just communities. They are roads being constructed to link regional capitals to one another for the purposes of boosting agriculture. We have been in this country, and for the longest time, we have been saying that food is being imported. tomato. Yesterday or this week, we were discussing the Burkina Faso issues. Why? One of the major issues are the road networks from our farm gates to the market. And so the big push is a policy position that the government took and said that let's link these 12 areas that we have classified as economic zones together. Now, if we were to go through competitive tendering, it would take approximately between 12 to 18 months to even get a contract awarded. In fact, to evidence this assertion, if you recall, the NDC in the 2025 budget said that we were going to restore road toll. Do you know that the system is going through a competitive tendering?
Still?
And for 7 months.
Because that has delayed.
Yes, for 7 months. It's going through the processes. Yesterday, I had the minority holding a press conference on it and saying that, for 1 year, we haven't heard of anything on the road toll. Because for 7 months, it's been going through competitive tendering. And that is why we haven't been able to award the contract. Now, this is the issue. We must begin to ask that when we zone these areas, what was the aim? The aim of the president is that within a space of 18 to 24 months, Ghanaians should have some tangible roads. And so we needed to do that, one, by empowering local contractors. How many times have we not spoken about everything in this country being owned by foreigners? How many times have we not said that foreigners do not, have practically hijacked our country? Just last month, there was a discussion on China Mall and other
people to make sure that you empower local contractors?
Local companies. So unless the argument is that there is some wrongdoing somewhere, that there is some act of corruption, that these contractors are somehow linked to the families of these people, then I think that we ought to elevate the discussion a bit. Now, it's important to also say that beyond even empowering the local contractors, you will recall that when the NDC came into power, in fact, less than a month after the NDC came into power, many communities went on rampage, saying that their road networks were bad. I will give you the example of Pokwase-Masaman Road, which the MPP started. People were on the neck of this government and said, we want it finished. Do you think that if we were going through competitive tendering, that contract could have been novated and renegotiated for work to progress?
That's by Maripoma.
Yes, for work to progress the way it's progressing. And so while we hear the feedback, we in the NDC will not take the posturing of the MPP that anytime people raise issues in your government, you just rubbish them. No. We understand that as a government, we have an obligation to bring the facts to the people. We understand that as a government, when people ask legitimate questions, and rightly so, they owe it, we owe it a duty to them to respond to these things. And that's exactly what we are doing. Now, having even said that, you know that when you take our friends on the other side, they say, and you play the video of the minority, they say, oh, the NDC in the past, even if you were not opposed to the single source, you said that they were so opaque. What we have done is that we have learned from our checkered history of how the MPP governed this country. And collectively, as a party and as a government, we have vowed never to go the route of the MPP. So what did we do? This contract or this exposé that we are discussing, Roland, it was not a discovery made by the Fourth Estate by some investigative piece. What happened? The Fourth Estate wrote to the Ministry of Roads and Highway and the Ghana Highway Authority, pursuant to the Right to Information Act. And they were supplied these information.
So this public info?
This is public information.
But they have a right to question it.
And rightly so, they have a right to question. Nobody should take away their right. And I want to say even here that even after this publication, I can assure you that Sule Brame's life will not be threatened. He doesn't have to go to South Africa like Manasseh did in the past. His family doesn't have to live in fear like the families of Ahmed Swale. We are here to engage, to listen to different perspectives. We are here, and I would wish that if there are, anything that he wants to draw government's attention to in these contracts, we are welcoming. But let me say that 23, do you know 23? The
figure 23?
Yeah, 23. Out of the 54 lots of contracts awarded, that is under discussion. These contracts were awarded by single source under the previous MPP administration.
23?
23 out of the 54. And the NDC is not on record anywhere to have opposed this. I can give you a classical example of the Swame interchange. In fact, the Parliamentary Hansard says that the NDC then, led by the ranking on roads, who is currently the roads minister, supported that. So let's not mix the issue merely because we called out government for their corrupt acts, which were shrouded in single source contracts. We should not come to the conclusion that, the NDC said all single source contracts were wrong.
And as you have a minute to wrap.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.